the energetic and strong mother, Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's Revenge.
My name is Fubuki. I was 32 years old at the time. My wife, Hiromi, who worked as a machine maintenance worker at a certain facility, was 26 years old and worked for a company. Our children were 5 and 4 years old at that time. I found out about Hiromi's affair through a testimony from my friend and his wife. My friend and his wife are a weird couple who like to go to hotels all over the place.
What?
One day, they went out to a hotel together and happened to see Hiromi in the lobby. My friend usually sends me an email, but he called me, which was rare.
Fubuki, can you talk right now?
What's up? Something urgent? It was a late lunch break, so I kept calling.
I'm at a hotel with my wife.
What? Are you slacking? You're as lively as ever, aren't you?
I actually met Hiromi at the hotel. Anyway, I'll get the proof. So come to my place after work.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I couldn't believe what I heard from my friend, so I was up in the air during work in the afternoon. I had an early shift that day, so I left work at 4 p.m. and headed to my friend's house, still in disbelief. Tell me it's a joke. I hoped so. But when my friend met me at the door, he didn't greet me with his usual friendliness and quietly led me straight to the living room. Sorry to bother you.
I'm pretty sure it's Hiromi, but I'll check with you too, Fubuki.
Yeah. Even at this stage, I was skeptical and thought the words, "It was a surprise," would appear on the video screen. But reality was different. The video was taken from a parking lot somewhere.
You see, this is a hotel with a parking lot on the ground floor.
A couple of minutes into the video, a couple emerged from the elevator entrance, arm in arm. The screen zoomed in on the man, who looked younger than 40, and the woman, who was unmistakably my wife, Hiromi.
There's no mistake, right?
Yeah, it's Hiromi.
Don't get yourself worked up, alright?
Yeah, I think it's fine. It's weird to say this about my own personality, but I've always had a tendency to be more calm in extreme situations like this. So to be honest, after watching the video, I was emotionally unaffected. The video ended with them parting in the parking lot of some shopping center, and on the way home, I got a printout of some of the scenes from the video. And then I went straight to pick up the kids from daycare, which was a good thing, because I was originally supposed to pick them up since I finished work early that day. Then I came home, got the kids changed, and I went to drop them off at my sister Asuka's, who's a stay-at-home mom. Sorry for the short notice, but if it's okay with you, would you mind keeping the kids for a little while? Depending on the situation, I might ask if they could stay the night. As I said that, Asuka seemed to have figured something out.
What's wrong? Did something happen?
She asked. Things might get really ugly.
Did something happen with Hiromi by any chance?
Yeah, well...
Okay, I get it. Call me if you need anything.
I was relieved to get her consent, as the kids were close to Asuka. Then I went back to my house and waited for Hiromi to return. Hiromi came home at the same time as her usual work time, with an indifferent look on her face. How can you be so calm? I felt anger in my calmness, but I kept my composure. Hiromi immediately noticed that the children were missing and asked,
Wait, where are the kids?
I told her I had left them with Asuka and sat her down in the living room.
What do you want to talk about? I have to make dinner now. Pick up the kids so they don't stay so late, okay?
Hiromi said in her usual tone. Well, let's talk.
What?
I handed Hiromi the envelope with the printouts.
What's this? Is it some kind of surprise?
Hiromi happily said as she took the envelope, but she froze when she took out the contents. She stared at the printout for about 10 minutes, completely frozen, and during the long silence, the sounds of cars passing by from outside lingered in my ears. I had no choice, so I started the conversation. I'm sure you have your reasons, but don't make excuses. Just tell me the facts. There are things we need to figure out from now on. She started talking after I said that. The other partner seems to be a man named Oda, 38 years old, who is the boss of the company and was transferred to the branch of Hiromi's company 2 years ago.
It all started when we got together on a project. He confessed to me at the lunch.
Hiromi initially rejected him because she was married, but apparently she respected Oda because he was her boss, who was good at his job. Well, from a different perspective, she was happy. And in time, Hiromi seemed to find the pleasure in immorality.
The physical relationship started about a year ago.
Oda, who saw Hiromi about 1 to 3 times a month, was serious about her and wanted her to divorce me so they could be together. And as for Hiromi,
We're just friends and I wasn't thinking of divorcing you, Fubuki.
she said, so selfishly.
I knew I had to end it at some point.
I quickly secured Hiromi's phone and saw that her texts with Oda were still there. So I called Oda and I gave it to Hiromi, had her put it on speaker, and listened to the exchange.
Hiromi, what's up? Hello? What?
My husband found out.
What? Really?
Then I took her phone and put it off speaker. Oda-san, this is her husband, Fubuki. You know what this is about, don't you?
Well,
Oda seemed quite flustered, but I continued on regardless. I can't do it over the phone, so can you come to the house? Then I called Oda to my neighborhood, and Hiromi and I went to pick him up there. After a while, Oda drove up, and we got in his car. But there was one thing I couldn't tolerate. When I sat in the back seat, Hiromi sat in the passenger seat without hesitation.
huh?
I was so upset that I kicked the passenger seat from the back seat. I still won't forget the look on Oda and Hiromi's faces at that moment. And when I got back home, my friend and his wife were waiting for me, worried. Then the 5 of us started talking. And of course, we started the voice recorder. What Oda said generally matched what Hiromi had said. And when I let him speak,
First of all, I want to apologize to the husband. Second, I want to show my sincerity to you with as much money as you wish within the range of what I can do. And third, if possible, I would like this to be kept secret from the company. And I would like to be with Hiromi-san.
I was satisfied with the apology and the fee, but I could not accept the idea of keeping this a secret from the company and the wish she had to be with Hiromi. So I asked Hiromi about it.
I don't want my company to know either.
She said she didn't want to divorce me, but she didn't confirm or deny remarrying Oda. So this attitude triggered the divorce. I sent Oda home and talked with Hiromi in the presence of my friend and his wife. I need some time to think about it. I also want to give some kind of punishment to Oda. And don't contact him outside of work. Worst case scenario, I need you to resign. Hiromi simply nodded. After my friend and his wife left, I asked Hiromi again, why were you attracted to that guy? And an unexpected reply came back.
Actually, I'm into old men.
She prefers men who are older than her, and Oda seemed to be the perfect fit. Huh? I was disgusted. And I called Asuka that night and told her the whole story, or rather, had her listen to my whole story. And the next day, I went to pick up the kids. Ryota, who had heard about the situation, was doing some business.
I have a legal counsel, so I'll refer you to him,
he said, and I ended up having a lawyer come in between. The next week, we had a meeting, and after getting a lot of advice, we decided to claim 3 million yen. According to the lawyer, I don't think it's an amount that can't be taken. However, if the other party is insistent and the case goes to court, it will become more difficult. So it's best to settle the case. Exactly 2 weeks after the affair was discovered, I told Hiromi that I wanted a divorce. In the presence of my lawyer, of course. I called my parents and in-laws at the same time and explained to them what had happened. At that time, my father-in-law said,
You idiot!
and tried to slap Hiromi. but my father and I tried our best to stop him. I think that was the most chaotic moment. And then I told Oda about the alimony. And to be honest, I thought he was going to argue with me, but he agreed to our terms fully. Hiromi, on the other hand, was initially stubborn, but after seeing the facts, she agreed to it with the persuasion of her in-laws. Don't be stubborn at this point. And later on, the custody was decided on my side. Although Oda's intention was strong in this matter, I was saved. I had my lawyer write up the documents. It went surprisingly smoothly. That was my impression. I didn't claim alimony from Hiromi, but we agreed on 2 million with the suggestion from my parents-in-law, and I received an additional 3 million from Oda, for a total of 5 million. Visitation between the kids and Hiromi will begin in 6 months. However, it will be in the presence of a third party and will last no longer than 4 hours. No one but the mother is allowed to see the child. These are the conditions. The joint-owned property was abandoned. The home is in my name, but I'm the only one paying the mortgage on the house. Well, that sounds like a one-sided win. The hardest part was when I had to leave my kids. I can't tell them the truth, so I said, "Mom got a job." That's what I told them, but it was hard for me too. Child support was paid monthly, and Hiromi and Oda remarried 7 months after the divorce. I remarried a year later because I had the chance. The other woman is Asuka's junior, and she's quite beautiful. People might think we're madly in love. And we are. I'm living happily every day. I can't thank Asuka enough. And 3 months after Hiromi's remarriage, I got a request for a visit, and when I saw her,
It's been a while.
she seemed to lack the energy she once had. And 2 years later, she started emailing me, asking to meet alone with me. Reason being,
Oda-san told me he wanted to have a baby soon, but I couldn't, so I looked into it and found that the cause was Oda-san. My in-laws are also urging me to have a grandchild, and I'm only relieved when I'm shopping.
as I was listening, giving off appropriate replies,
I'm only relieved when I'm shopping for things online every day, and I can't stop.
wait, isn't that a shopping addiction? It's amazing how you shop every day.
I've already maxed out the credit card. What am I supposed to do?
Oda got what he deserved. I honestly thought so.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time!